The study of human endurance is not merely an exercise in understanding their biology. It is a confrontation with a level of absurdity that borders on defiance. For most species, the boundaries of physical exertion are clear and respected. Pain signals the need to stop, exhaustion demands rest, and injury enforces a retreat. Humans, however, seem to treat these warnings as suggestions rather than mandates. They push their bodies to extremes that serve no survival purpose, and yet, they emerge on the other side, battered but functioning. I began by examining what humans call long-distance running. The act itself is baffling, a deliberate and prolonged exertion of energy with no immediate necessity. In one particular case, a human ran over 42 kilometers without stopping, despite their body showing clear signs of distress. Their muscles were depleted of energy, their joints inflamed, and their core temperature dangerously high. By all logical metrics, they should have ceased the activity well before the finish. Instead, they continued, driven by what they referred to as determination. I reviewed the biological data. Their systems were flooded with a compound called endorphins, a chemical response that appears to mask pain and induce a sense of euphoria. To my astonishment, their physiology had evolved a mechanism not to prevent exertion, but to enable them to ignore the consequences of it. Their resilience is further amplified by a peculiar phenomenon: adaptability. In a controlled study, human subjects were exposed to gradual increases in physical stress over weeks. Rather than succumbing to the strain, their bodies adapted. Muscles grew stronger, cardiovascular systems more efficient, and pain thresholds higher. It is as though their biology thrives on adversity, using stress not as a signal of danger, but as an opportunity for growth. This stands in stark contrast to most species, where prolonged stress results in deterioration rather than improvement. Their capacity for endurance is not limited to controlled environments. In extreme conditions, mountainous regions with thin oxygen, arid deserts with searing heat, or frozen wastelands with sub-zero temperatures, humans not only survive but actively operate. Their bodies adjust to these conditions through a series of rapid physiological changes. At high altitudes, for instance, their systems produce more red blood cells to compensate for reduced oxygen. This adaptation, while inefficient and energy-intensive, allows them to function in environments where most life forms would falter. Their ability to acclimatize to such extremes is nothing short of extraordinary, though it is accompanied by significant physical tolls that humans seem all too willing to bear. Pain tolerance is another area where humans deviate wildly from what should be expected. Pain in most species is a deterrent, a signal to avoid harmful behavior. Humans, however, exhibit an ability to override this signal when motivated by necessity or, more bafflingly, by choice. In one documented case, a human fractured a limb and continued to move, relying on improvised support and sheer willpower. The act was not born of desperation, but rather a refusal to yield to circumstance. When questioned, the individual described the pain as manageable, a term that underscores their unsettling relationship with discomfort. Even more perplexing is their response to physical recovery. Humans view injuries not as debilitating, but as temporary setbacks. Broken bones mend, damaged tissues regenerate, and their systems recover from even severe trauma given enough time. While this process is not unique to humans, the speed and efficiency with which they heal are remarkable. Their reliance on external tools, splints, stitches, and medications further accelerates recovery, turning what should be crippling injuries into manageable inconveniences. One aspect that stood out during my research was the communal nature of their endurance. Humans rarely face challenges alone. In endurance events or survival scenarios, they exhibit a tendency to assist one another, sharing resources, offering encouragement, and even physically supporting those who falter. This collective approach amplifies their resilience, allowing them to achieve feats that would be impossible individually. It is a form of symbiosis, not with other species but within their own kind, a biological and psychological interdependence that enhances their chances of survival. Their ingenuity also plays a crucial role. When faced with physical limitations, humans invent solutions rather than accept defeat. Prosthetics, exoskeletons, and advanced medical interventions allow them to compensate for biological shortcomings. One example involved a human who, after losing the use of their lower limbs, developed a mechanical device that allowed them to walk again. This ability to augment their biology with technology is unparalleled and blurs the line between natural evolution and artificial adaptation. Despite their flaws, or perhaps because of them, humans exhibit a resilience that defies logic. Their endurance is not merely a product of their physiology, but a testament to their mindset. They do not see limits as barriers, but as challenges to overcome. This perspective, coupled with their ability to adapt and innovate, positions them as one of the most formidable species I have ever encountered. While their methods may appear reckless and inefficient, the results speak for themselves. Humans endure not because they are perfectly designed, but because they refuse to accept failure as an option. Humans possess an unparalleled capacity for improvisation. Where other species are constrained by instinct or pre-programmed behaviors, humans adapt in real time, creating solutions from whatever materials and knowledge are at hand. It is not merely their problem-solving ability that is noteworthy, but the sheer audacity of their approach. They do not wait for ideal circumstances or tools. Instead, they innovate with reckless creativity, turning what should be insurmountable challenges into opportunities. Take, for instance, their response to environmental dangers. In one recorded scenario, a group of humans stranded in sub-zero temperatures crafted temporary shelters from snow and ice, insulating themselves against the cold. The materials were rudimentary, the construction primitive, but it worked. They survived, not because they were biologically equipped for such harsh conditions, but because their ingenuity allowed them to compensate for their deficiencies. This ability to manipulate their surroundings rather than be governed by them is one of the defining traits of their species. Their resourcefulness extends beyond physical survival. Humans are capable of repurposing tools and technologies for uses far removed from their original intent. In one case, a human used a piece of discarded metal as a makeshift lever to free a trapped companion, leveraging physics with no formal training. Another instance involved the creation of a filtration system using layers of sand, charcoal, and fabric to purify contaminated water. These are not isolated events, but recurring themes in human behavior. When faced with adversity, they rely on creativity and experimentation to find solutions. Even their failures are remarkable. Humans are not deterred by initial setbacks. When an attempt does not succeed, they analyze, adapt, and try again. This iterative process, while inefficient, often leads to breakthroughs that more methodical species might never achieve. It is not uncommon for a human to dedicate years, even decades, to solving a single problem, driven by an inexplicable combination of curiosity and stubbornness. This persistence often results in innovations that far exceed the original scope of their efforts. Their technological advancement is a testament to this mindset. Unlike species that evolve biologically to adapt to their environments, humans engineer tools to bridge the gap between their limitations and their ambitions. They have developed machines to fly, dive to the ocean's depths, and even leave their planet's atmosphere, feats that would be biologically impossible. What is most intriguing is that these advancements are not the result of innate superiority, but of relentless trial and error. Their successes are built on the foundation of countless failures, each one a stepping stone toward progress. Humans also possess a unique relationship with risk. Where most species avoid danger, humans often seek it out, pushing the boundaries of what is possible. This willingness to embrace uncertainty is both their greatest strength and most confounding trait. In one documented scenario, a human deliberately ventured into a volcanic region to study its geology, despite the clear and present danger. When questioned, they described the experience as worth the risk for the knowledge gained. This mentality, this prioritization of discovery over safety, is almost alien in its recklessness and ambition. Their capacity for collaboration further amplifies their effectiveness. Humans rarely face challenges alone, especially those that require creative problem-solving. They form groups, delegating tasks based on individual strengths and pooling resources. This collective effort is not limited to their immediate surroundings, but extends across vast distances. They share knowledge freely, building on each other's ideas to achieve feats that would be impossible individually. One human may lack the expertise or tools to solve a problem, but by leveraging their network, they overcome these limitations. Their approach to innovation is also influenced by their ability to think abstractly. Humans excel at imagining scenarios beyond their immediate reality, a trait that allows them to anticipate problems and develop preemptive solutions. This abstract thinking enables them to construct models, plan for contingencies, and even simulate potential outcomes. It is a level of foresight that sets them apart from other species, allowing them to thrive in environments that should be inhospitable. Even their concept of failure is unique. For humans, failure is not the end, but a necessary part of the process. They do not view it as a reflection of their inadequacies, but as an opportunity for growth. This mindset enables them to take risks that other species might avoid, knowing that even a failed attempt yields valuable information. It is an approach that has allowed them to achieve extraordinary advancements, from medicine to engineering, often in the face of overwhelming odds. What becomes increasingly clear through my study is that humans are not defined by their physical or even intellectual traits, but by their relentless drive to overcome. They do not accept the limitations imposed by their biology or circumstances. Instead, they challenge those limitations at every opportunity, often succeeding through sheer force of will and creativity. This combination of adaptability, resilience, and ingenuity makes them one of the most unpredictable and formidable species I have encountered. They are, in every sense, a force of nature, a species that refuses to be bound by the rules that govern the rest of the galaxy. Human psychology is perhaps the most bewildering aspect of their existence. Their mental resilience, much like their physical endurance, operates on principles that defy conventional logic. In most species, stress and hardship lead to deterioration, mental breakdowns, inaction, or eventual collapse. Humans, however, seem to draw strength from adversity. It is not that they are immune to the effects of stress, but rather that they harness it, transforming hardship into motivation. One of the most striking phenomena is their ability to find meaning in suffering. Humans often endure situations of profound difficulty, not because they must, but because they believe it is worthwhile. They assign purpose to their struggles, whether it be for a cause, a loved one, or even an abstract concept like justice or freedom. In one documented instance, a human willingly subjected themselves to months of grueling physical and mental challenges, citing the desire to protect others as their sole motivation. The hardship, instead of breaking them, became a source of focus and strength. Their emotional range is equally confounding. Humans experience a vast spectrum of emotions: joy, sorrow, anger, fear, love, and each of these plays a role in their survival. While other species rely on instinct alone, humans seem to use their emotions as a guide. They form bonds that are not merely practical but deeply personal, creating connections that endure over time and distance. These bonds drive them to extraordinary acts of sacrifice and bravery. I have studied instances where humans risked their lives for the sake of others, driven not by logic, but by what they call compassion. This capacity to prioritize others over themselves is as illogical as it is awe-inspiring. Their creativity is deeply tied to this emotional depth. Humans do not simply solve problems, they imbue their solutions with meaning and expression. Art, music, and storytelling are not necessary for survival, yet they are integral to human existence. Through these mediums, they communicate ideas, preserve knowledge, and inspire one another. These creative outlets often serve as a form of mental resilience, allowing humans to process complex emotions and find solace in the face of adversity. Even their relationship with mortality is unique. Humans are acutely aware of their finite existence, a realization that should, by all accounts, paralyze them with fear. Instead, this awareness fuels their drive to achieve, create, and connect. They view life not as an endless cycle, but as a fleeting opportunity to make an impact. This perspective gives rise to their relentless ambition, their refusal to accept stagnation, and their determination to leave a legacy. For humans, mortality is not a limitation but a motivator. Their capacity for hope is perhaps the most inexplicable of all. Even in the direst circumstances, when survival seems impossible, humans cling to the belief that things will improve. This hope is not always rational, yet it sustains them. In one particularly harrowing case, a group of humans stranded in isolation for weeks managed to persevere despite dwindling resources and mounting despair. They maintained their resolve through a shared belief in eventual rescue, a belief that proved correct in the end. This unyielding optimism, while baffling, often becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Humans also exhibit an unparalleled ability to learn from their experiences. Their memory, combined with their capacity for reflection, allows them to adapt not only physically but mentally. Mistakes are not merely seen as failures, but as valuable lessons. They incorporate these lessons into their decision-making, growing wiser and more capable with each challenge they face. This iterative process of learning, reflection, and growth is a cornerstone of their survival strategy. Another notable trait is their ability to work collectively toward a shared vision. Humans form societies, cultures, and civilizations, each built on the contributions of countless individuals. Their capacity for collaboration is not limited to small groups but extends to millions, even billions, united by common goals. They create systems of governance, trade, and communication that allow them to coordinate efforts on a scale unmatched by any other species. This collective intelligence amplifies their individual capabilities, enabling them to achieve feats that would be impossible alone. Yet, their greatest strength may lie in their ability to adapt their thinking. Humans do not rigidly adhere to one way of understanding the world. They question, challenge, and revise their beliefs as new information becomes available. This intellectual flexibility allows them to navigate the complexities of an ever-changing environment. They are not bound by tradition or instinct but are free to innovate, evolve, and redefine themselves. In the end, what makes humans extraordinary is not any single trait, but the synergy of their physical, emotional, and intellectual capabilities. They are a species defined by contradictions, fragile yet enduring, flawed yet brilliant, chaotic yet purposeful. Their existence challenges every preconception of what life should be, forcing even the most advanced minds to reconsider the boundaries of possibility. If there is one truth that my study of humans has revealed, it is this: their strength does not lie in perfection but in their relentless pursuit of something greater. They are not merely survivors. They are dreamers, creators, and builders, shaping their destiny with a determination that defies all reason.